Join us for a lively discussion about the A-State community. Each week, we'll meet with a variety of faculty, staff, and students to discuss all things Arkansas State University. Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. And welcome to A-State Connections on KASU and ASU-TV. I'm Johnathan Reeves, Academic Advisor in the School of Media and Journalism and the Department of Communication at Arkansas State. Welcome to the show. Today we talk about an opportunity for you to make a difference at Arkansas State University. The annual Day of Giving takes place next week. Telling us more is Director of Annual Giving at Arkansas State, Tara Thomason, and from A-State Athletics, Associate Athletic Director for Marketing and Fan Engagement, Brad Bobo. Thank you both for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
So let's talk about Day of Giving. Tara, what is that?
So on Tuesday, April 11th, we are going to host this 24-hour university-wide effort to really try and focus on Arkansas State. We are asking for everyone that loves or cares about A-State to participate on this day.
And how did this originate?
So years ago, the school, we're always looking for ways to engage our alumni and to stay connected. And we used to really gain support through our phone-a-thon, which was our calling campaign. And we were asked by leadership to discontinue that program. And so we had to find a new way to reach out. We have so many alumni that really do care about our programs and expanding what we do, and they wanted to stay connected and wanted to contribute and help make a difference at Arkansas State. And so we were presented with the idea of hosting our own Day of Giving.
Okay, and so we were talking about programs, and we're going to go into this here a little bit later on in the show about the different programs. Athletics definitely is one of them, and Brad, I want to talk to you about that for just a second. First of all, a lot of people recognize your voice. I know you've been on air in many aspects, hosting, on the ticket, hosting the Drive Sports Show, but now you're doing this at Arkansas State. Kind of tell us what you do at A-State.
So, to stick to the title, overall, what we do as far as my staff is not just let people know when the games are, but really take a deep dive into trying to make their experience a fun one when you're at the game. Now, there's nothing more fun than winning, and at the end of the day, that's the most fun thing, and we don't have any impact on that per se, but there's a lot of things we can do along the way to make sure that that experience is a good one outside just the result.
And there's nothing quite like being at either Centennial Bank Stadium or inside First National Bank Arena, and when the crowd is fired up, your thoughts on what kind of goes through your mind?
Well, it makes the hair on your arms and neck stand up because it's because you're helping our team win, right? There's no magic to wearing your home jersey or even really to sleep in your own bed. The reason it's called a home court advantage is because your crowd creates you one. And when that happens and you see the team playing well and the team and the crowd are feeding off each other, then that's kind of what you're in it for.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff kind of behind the scenes, things that go on. While we're getting all that set up, especially basketball games and football games, it's really, really cool to see it all behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's a lot, and especially, when you talk about football, just the size, the scale of those events, and you're working, the players and coaches, but really our staff too, working all year long for 6 chances to kind of put that on. There's a lot goes into it.
So Tara, that's one of the many different areas I know that people can support as A-State Athletics. What are the different areas? How are they broken down?
Well, just about anything and every fund that there is at Arkansas State, someone could contribute to. And as we're talking about athletics, Tuesday is our big game day for the university. So we really want everyone to wear their Red Wolf gear, wear their Pack Pride, and to help us on that day. But if there's something particularly of interest, something that someone cares about, whether it be KASU, the radio television department, could be the library, the museum, the food pantry. There are so many opportunities, the Beck Center for Veterans, the museum. There's just a lot, lots of different funds that we're trying to raise support for. And so we just want people to really go with where their heart is bent, whatever fund that really resonates with them. It could be an area where they studied as a student. Maybe they gained knowledge while they were a student here at Arkansas State, or maybe they just really care about a particular initiative that they want to see grow and expand.
All right, Brad?
So I was going to say, as an alum, and I'll step aside from my role and talk about as a graduate of Arkansas State University and someone who, prior to just a few months ago or the last day of giving, wasn't an employee, but was looking really from the outside in. I think that's the coolest thing about it, is that, like, you can go down a rabbit hole just getting on the website and looking at all the different places you can send your gift. So however specialized your kind of interests were, or whatever tugs at your heartstrings at this university, and obviously we're here to talk about, hoping for my sake, it's athletics for a lot of folks. But no matter what it is, I mean, you can get as specialized with your giving as you want. And like I said, I would challenge people to just, before Tuesday rolls around, get on the website and look at all the different places you can give during that day.
Yeah, where can people start looking at that,
So
Tara?
they can go now that the site is live, and it's actually housed on our website, astatealumni.org/give-to-a-state.
Okay.
Give to a state is our key hashtag and phrase. And so on that form, it's very easy to peruse and see the different options as far as those funds that we're featuring. But even if something that is of interest to someone or that someone cares about, they can actually type in their own designation. So once they click on that Give Now button, they can list anything that they have an interest in.
So take just a few minutes of your YouTube time between now and then and spend it going through that website instead.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic way to be able to do it. And this is this the third year that
Third
it's
year.
going on? That's hard to believe. It's in year 3, and it seems like that the numbers have just grown, year to year by way of how much has been raised.
Absolutely. So we appreciate any opportunity that we can share with others about what we're doing for A-State. There are other initiatives all year long, but this is our one day to really focus and bring everybody together on the day of giving on April 11th. And so it really does make a great deal of difference to our students. We're able to enhance programs. We're able to maybe expand on equipment that's here at Arkansas State. We can provide scholarships, all with the support and the help of our alumni and our friends.
Right. So I want to talk about on the athletics side. First of all, I think that there may be some misconceptions as to how athletics gets funds and all that. Can you kind of break that down a little bit and how the Day of Giving helps with that?
I would literally just parrot the last few sentences Tara said, specifically even to athletics, because the key word is, enhance. That's the biggest thing we do. There are sort of two revenue streams. There's our state budget, right? And then there's, the private funds through the Red Wolves Foundation. Well, no athletic department at our level is going to be able to do the things it needs to do based just on its budget. It's got to come. You have to have an engaged, donor base outside of that to enhance, the experience for our student athletes, whether that is, enhance in the areas of nutrition, finding better ways to feed and prepare our athletes for competition, whether that is, helping improve travel, because the amount of time, if a team of ours is on the road, they're on the road while they're also in classes. So enhancing the opportunities for them to be on the road and also stay connected with their classes and do their work. It isn't maybe enhanced through taking money from that side and hopefully eventually, with facilities improvements. So everything to this side, to the Red Wolves Foundation side, and everything that where this money and Day of Giving would come through is about turning that into some kind of way then to enhance the experience our student athletes have at Arkansas State.
So for athletics, is it broken into football, basketball, that, or is it just all into one thing, Brad?
Well, some of both. I mean, to be honest, there obviously is the Red Wolves Foundation, and then the sports, even within that sort of do have their own umbrella clubs too. So really the answer is both.
Right.
Very similar for Arkansas State. We have the ASU fund, but we also have the individual colleges. And from that tier, then you're broken down into different departments or then different initiatives also.
It's really just an exciting opportunity for people to get involved, and it doesn't take a whole lot to be able to do that, does it?
Not at all. And it really, It sounds cliche, but it's true. Every dollar does count. Even small donations are very important to this university. And so, I have colleagues that are in major gifts or corporate gifts, but I'm responsible for annual giving. And I would love if all alumni and all of our friends would just contribute even a small amount. So every little bit does help, and will be designated, will be actually applied to wherever that designation is intended.
There are only so many places to go to get the big gifts, right? I mean, that is a limited number of those opportunities. So the rest of you have to get it done. I mean, the whole lot of small gifts add up to the same as trying to go out and spend your time just always looking for the big ones. So yeah, it's,
Right.
I mean, it literally is a situation where she said where everything helps.
Yeah, oh, I know how that is, and and KASU that helps sponsor this program, helps put this program together. Right now, they're in their fundraising drive, and they'll be doing that through that. So yeah, it's $5 a month, $10 a month, or those one-time gifts or those things. Every little bit does help to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. We're also talk a little bit more about, there's been some exciting things that's been going on with A-State athletics lately. There's been some announcements and some other stuff. We're going to also preview what the football season looks like and continue this conversation coming up here in just a little bit. Director of Annual Giving at Arkansas State, Tara Thomason, joins us here on A-State Connections, as well as Brad Bobo, who's Associate Director, Athletic Director of Fan Engagement and Marketing at Arkansas State. We'll continue that right after this timeout.
ASU-TV, shows like Red Wolf Roundtable, ASU-TV News, Westside Football, and more. Gain real-life experience while doing what you love. Get involved with ASU-TV today.
Are you looking for an education that will take you places? At Arkansas State University, we're preparing students for success in today's ever-changing job market. With expert faculty and cutting-edge technology, we're creating an environment where students can thrive and reach their full potential. And with a diverse student body and a supportive community, you'll find plenty of options to get involved and make lifelong connections. Discover all that Arkansas State University has to offer. Apply today and start your journey to a brighter future.
Red Wolf Radio is a student-led organization at Arkansas State University wanting to hear your takes on pop culture, music, the news, and college life. Just about anything you can think of. Located in the Education and Communications building on campus, we are always looking for more volunteers. So if you're an Arkansas State University student, no matter the major, and this is something that interests you, shoot us an email at redwolfradio@astate.edu. That's redwolfradio@astate.edu. Let them hear you howl.
At Arkansas State, we want you to go. Go where learning soars, takes flight, and rockets ahead. Go for experiences, internships, and scholarships. We want you to go. Become A-State Maine. Are you ready to go? Go.astate.edu for details.
Live from the ASU-TV studios in the School of Media and Journalism, this is A-State Connections. And welcome back to A-State Connections here on KASU and ASU-TV. We're talking to Tara Thomason and Brad Bobo here today as we're talking about the Day of Giving at Arkansas State. Thank you both for joining us again. Before we continue, we're all alums here at Arkansas State. In fact, we're radio television alums, 96,
97.
99.
how about that? So tell us about, how did Arkansas State make an impact in your life? Why are you so passionate about Arkansas State? Tara, I want to ask you that.
Gracious. Put me on the spot, but to sum it all up, I really am grateful for the size of our classrooms. I loved developing relationships with the instructors, many of whom I still keep in touch with today.
Right.
But I love the opportunity to have hands-on training. My time at Arkansas State was very valuable and prepared me to go right out into the world, into broadcast journalism, in my other life. So absolutely love
Right.
A-State.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, once life sort of took me down the path that I knew, getting into broadcast was where I thought I was headed, then there was never a doubt as to where I was going to get on that path. It was Arkansas State from the get-go. Why would I leave to go somewhere else when the best place to do that was right here at home for me, being a Northeast Arkansas guy? So, it became home, and it's just stayed home. I love this place. And then for me, being a Northeast Arkansas guy and of the age I am, I understand that, a lot of kids my age and a little older, a little younger came up. You grew up with no exposure to Arkansas State. You didn't really hear about it in the media coverage. You almost didn't even know what it was. So now that I've gotten on this side of it, I've kind of gotten to make it my mission to make sure that doesn't happen to any more kids, that they don't come up not hearing about Arkansas State and not knowing what it's about.
Yeah, and there are plenty of shows that talk about another school, but yours was specifically about Arkansas State all the time.
It was about local sports all the time.
Yeah.
And so the centerpiece of that's Arkansas State and our high school sports. So when we were doing that, I mean, we set out, and it was thrilled to do it for 9 years, doing a show that was just about local sports. And again, the centerpiece of that's A-State.
Now the show's still continuing.
It does.
And so it's still going on. So I know you probably get a chance to jump on it every once in a while.
You know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. Those guys have not asked me to be on that show since I left. I have not been on that show.
What is wrong with those people? So
they kicked me out and have not looked back.
Yeah, get Bobo back on the show. Come on now. So anyway, we're talking about Day of Giving, which is coming up on April 11th. And so the one thing I want to ask is, how are you helping spread the word about the campaign that's going on? I think you've got some really cool social media things that are taking place.
We've been posting on all of our sites, but we are also trying to do a good job of emailing. That's just the fastest and quickest and easiest way to get the word out is via email, whether it be from the college dean or whether it's from Dr. Shields. But we've also mailed letters. We mailed about 18,000 letters, I believe, to donors of the past that have had some level of affinity to the university, that they've shown that they care about Arkansas State. But social media is really the biggest, and word of mouth. So many of our faculty members and in the individual departments have shown that they really are passionate this year. They really want to help spread the word. So hopefully they're talking about it in their classrooms, and the student registered organizations, they're talking amongst themselves with the sororities and fraternities and any of the student groups. So we're doing our best to get the word out.
Very good. And you want to talk about an impact, a way that, how we can make a difference for Arkansas State. Arkansas State turns around and makes a difference in many communities, especially, I think, I heard this, that the football players are helping out Win Arkansas. And tell us about, because I know there's a drive that's going on to be able to try and help the people and win.
So, I would say within a couple of hours of that storm going through, Win, with head coaches, plural, not just football, head coaches, plural, kind of on the phone with our administration saying, what can we do? And that actually grew from there to really a university-wide effort. So, as we speak, the football equipment trailer is sitting in the parking lot at Tomlinson Stadium, right off Red Wolf Boulevard. And now through the weekend, taking cleaning supplies, whether it's, sports drinks, medical supplies, all the list of things that they're needing right now to kind of continue that cleanup. They're taking those right now at the trailer. We'll all through the weekend. We're also home for baseball this weekend, being Easter weekend. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And so at any point in time during the weekend, if you want to bring by a donation for that, you can get free admission to that day's baseball game.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we talk about A-State connections. The whole theme of the show is how A-State is making a connection in the communities in which they serve, and that's really a good way to be able to do that. And so this is a way for you to be able to give back to Arkansas State. And so I wanted to ask, there was a presentation that you did, Tara, and I thought this was really, really cool, this slide that showed about where donations have come from. Of course, a lot of people in Arkansas have given, but just to see people from all over the United States giving last year was really, really cool.
Absolutely. We have, of course, more than half of our alumni that are currently living are from Arkansas, still live in Arkansas and
Sure.
reside here. But we do have, I believe, alumni in every single state in the United States. And every year it's our mission to try and gain support from every one of those states. And so if someone would like to go to our website right now, that map is interactive. So every time someone makes a gift, and they enter the state where they're currently residing, it will populate that map automatically with a color gradient scale. And so, of course, Arkansas will be hopefully bright red on Tuesday, but it is really exciting to see the other states, and you realize that, oh, there's an alum that I'm friends with in Washington State, or Alaska, or Hawaii. We even got a gift last year, I believe, from Japan. And so it is really exciting to see where our Red Wolves are, and that they are staying connected with us and staying in touch with and caring about the university.
Just in case people are just joining us, what's the website, or where can people find the website
Sure.
to start taking a look at it right now?
Right, absolutely. astatealumni.org/give-to-a-state.
Okay, very good. Brad, I wanted to have you here in the studio, not only to talk about A-State Day of Giving, but also to talk about athletics.
Okay.
Y'all been a little busy over the past couple of weeks or so talking about basketball and
Yeah.
football and stuff.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, with football, really right around the corner. Spring football going. Hey, make your plans right now. As we sit here today, next weekend, April 15th, is Pack Day. It's sort of highlighted by the spring game, but we've got stuff going on literally all day long outside and around the stadium. So you can go to astateredwolves.com and find out more about that. But, yeah, football right around the corner, spring football. And as you mentioned, obviously, a lot of people excited and understandably so about our new men's basketball coach, Brian Hodgson, with a silent G.
Yeah, because you look at it and you want to say the other.
That's right.
And you'll be corrected really fast.
Actually, I think not. I think that's part of what happened. I think at some point, I think he just sort of waved the white flag and surrendered correcting people, because I think his entire time at Alabama, I don't know that they knew that was his name.
Wow. So, but your thoughts on Coach Hodgson?
Well, I mean, look, I'm excited because his bread and butter is bringing in basketball players. He's done it everywhere he's been, and he's done it at a lot of different levels. Division III, which is non-scholarship, junior college, Buffalo, a school like us. So at all different levels of resources, he's gone in and done the same thing everywhere: bring in players and win games. And I mean, there's no reason to think that's not what's going to happen here.
Right. I know you're excited about that. Of course, we got assistants that are coming in, and that's going to continue on. And we're talking about here where we are close to Easter. But boy, the football season will be here quick. Basketball season will be here quick. So talk about the football season. Kind of give us a preview of what we can expect.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to that for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's anchored by the first 3-game September homestand in the history of the program. Never played at home in September 3 weeks in a row, and we're going to do that this year. After going to Oklahoma for the opener, coming home for Memphis in the home opener, then Stony Brook, and then Southern Miss comes in here and at the end of September for the Sun Belt opener. So that part of the schedule sets up real nicely. Come back in October. The only home game is homecoming. It really sets up that if we can take care of business at home, and that again comes back to hopefully getting big crowds in there to help make that happen, we really can jumpstart a really good season. And I'm excited about it because, once again, Coach Jones and his staff went and signed the top class in the Sun Belt Conference. And he's doing it, signing young, talented classes that he's holding together in a day and age where it's harder than ever to hold young classes together.
That's
They're
true.
doing it.
Yeah.
So they've stacked up 2 good classes in a row. They've supplemented the places they need to with the transfer portal. That's especially true on the offensive line, where we got 3 transfer offensive linemen from Ole Miss and another center from Lamar. Kind of anchoring that group has been rebuilt. And I think we have 1 scholarship offensive lineman in the program right now under 300 pounds.
Right. I think a lot of people have been concerned about what the NIL would do and those things, but Arkansas State's been holding their own and been doing really good.
And they've signed these classes, especially the young guys in it, without having to do a whole lot from an NIL standpoint. Now, spinning that forward and keeping those guys
Right.
is a different story, and we can
Right.
have a whole nother show someday.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of about that part of it, but it's a big season coming up. It's an important season coming up in the sort of the progression of this thing, and with everybody's help, I think it can be a good one.
Which is why we need to get people out in droves, in force, in the Red Wolf Red, ready to go.
It just makes a difference, right? I mean,
Yeah.
to me, it's not a real hard concept to grasp, right? I mean, when you come out and you make noise and you know when to be involved in the game, you help your team win. So at the end of the day, like, who wouldn't want to help their team win? Conversely, if you're playing at home and the place is empty, you've made it harder for your team to win.
Yeah.
Because we go places and win games on the road when it's empty. I mean, that the magic to being successful at home is your support. And you look at, from 2010 to 2019, we averaged over 22,000 fans a game for that decade and won 76% of our games at home. That's not a coincidence.
Yeah. So support then, but I think you said this right as we wrap this up today. The day of giving is A-State's game day next Tuesday, right?
Absolutely. We want to see everyone in their red on Tuesday. We want them to make a shout on social media if they do choose to give. Take a picture, tag us, A-State alumni, or give to A-State, either one, and help us to just spread the word about this opportunity to support Arkansas State.
Fantastic. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it so much. That'll do it for this edition of A-State Connections. I want to thank my guests Tara Thomason and Brad Bobo for joining us here today. I also want to thank creative media production instructor Galen Perkins and his amazing students who are always working behind the scenes doing a fantastic job. Also, thanks to engineers Derek Herring and Clayton Holderfield for their help. And as always, thank you for watching A-State Connections. We'll be back again next Wednesday at 1:30. So long, everyone.